Imagine answering your phone. You hear a voice for less than a second. No face, no name, no picture, and yet you already know who is speaking. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's someone you haven't seen for years. The strange thing is, humans do this all the time. We recognize people by their voices almost as easily as we recognize them by their faces. And that raises an interesting question. Why? Why does every human voice sound different? Why doesn't everyone sound exactly the same? After all, we all have the same basic body, the same lungs, the same mouth, the same throat. So why are there billions of different voices on Earth? The answer begins deep inside your body. Every time you speak, air leaves your lungs and travels upward through your throat. As that air passes through your vocal cords, something remarkable happens. The vocal cords begin to vibrate, not unlike the strings of a musical instrument. Those vibrations create sound. Simple enough. But here's where things become interesting. Because no two humans are built exactly the same. Some people have longer vocal cords, some have shorter ones, some have thicker vocal cords, others have thinner ones, and even tiny differences can completely change the sound that comes out. Think about a guitar. A short string creates one sound. A longer string creates another. Human voices work in a surprisingly similar way, but vocal cords are only the beginning, because the sound they create is not the final voice you hear, not even close. Once the sound leaves the vocal cords, it begins a journey through a series of natural chambers inside your body, your throat, your mouth, your nasal passages, even the position of your tongue matters. These spaces act almost like a biological sound system. They amplify the sound, they reshape it, they modify it before it ever reaches the outside world. And this is where things become fascinating. Because every person's body is slightly different. Not dramatically different, just enough. A slightly larger mouth, a slightly narrower nasal cavity, a slightly different tongue position. Small differences. But small differences can create surprisingly large effects. Imagine two guitars built almost identically. At first glance, they look the same, but change one tiny detail, and the sound changes. Human voices work in much the same way. Some voices sound deep, others sound high, some sound warm, others sound sharp, some sound smooth, others sound rough, and yet, biology is only telling part of the story because something else is shaping your voice every single day. Your experiences, the people around you, the language you speak, the accent you grow up hearing, the habits you develop over time. A child raised in London, will sound different from a child raised in Texas. Even if their bodies were identical, the voice is not simply something you are born with, it is something you build. Conversation after conversation, year after year, without even realizing it.